Model Railroader fans, Happy New Year. This is the Boeville and Newtown's vlog number 1 for 2019, and it happens to be January the 1st, 2019. Again, Happy New Year. What's going on? Well, what the heck? I'm sorry. I was messing around down here before. I think I may have gotten some rosin flux on my soldering flux on my finger. Oops. Anyway, let's see. Where should I start? Well, let me start by saying that we, over the holiday, we gained another addition. No, I don't have a daughter. I don't have a son. I have another fur baby. My family, my wife, my daughter, and I, we adopted a Anatolian Pyrenees, an Anatolian Shepherd Pyrenees mix. Anatolians were originally Turkish herding dogs. So we now have a Turkish herding dog and an Australian herding dog. Her name is Emma, and she is about the same size as the dog we had before. So they've been getting along for the most part. Every day gets a little bit better. Every day gets a little bit more unique. So, you know, it's one of those things when you introduce a 4-year-old dog to an 8-year-old dog, well, you know, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Knock on wood, so far, this appears to be working. We'll see. Anywho, I know there's a bunch of stuff going on around in the YouTube world. At least for the YouTube model builders, for those who may not have caught it, or may not know about it, which I'm pretty sure by now basically all the YouTube model builders do, but anybody who hasn't heard up to this point, there is going to be a meet up in Scranton, Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania, May 18th and 19th. I think what the plan is everybody's going to try and get up there sometime Saturday the 18th, meet up, you know, so on and so forth, and we're supposed to go do a, what's now going to be a club tour of one of the model railroads up there on the 18th, and then on the 19th, on Sunday, we're going to go out the Horseshoe Curve for the Pennsylvania Railroad's Horseshoe Curve. So, I guess the best thing to do, if you're not a member of the YouTube Model Builders, number 1, on Facebook, look them up. I'll try to put a link down below. I know, like I said, I know of a bunch of us are headed out. They're planning to head out there, myself included, at least at this point. You know, barring any drastic changes, I will be up there, or I'm going to try to be up there. But you know, it sounds like a great time. It sounds like there's some folks coming in from farther away. I think I actually heard there might be a couple of them coming in from Peru, and even possibly one from down under. So that'll be cool. That'll be unique. It'll be a great opportunity for a bunch of us that see each other on either side of the camera to actually be able to meet up in person. And you know, I did that a few years back. Barry and Big Bill, Philip and Beezy, they were all up at the Strasburg Model Railroad. I went up there for a couple hours, hung out with them, saw the nice Strasburg Model Railroad Club's 60-some foot layout, which is it's a modular layout, which is really neat. It basically depicts the whole Strasburg run. It was neat to be able to catch up in person, be able to meet some of the people that we, like I said, we have email, we have Facebook, we have YouTube. We don't talk in person. You know, we did the live shows in the past. I know a bunch of people, Sparky, Ron's Trains and Things. I think there's one or two. It might be Vinny are doing weekly live feeds, which is great. Number one, you have to have time. Let's put it this way. You have to have time the same time every week, which for me is a problem. That's one thing. And then the other thing is, you know, you have to have the setup and everything else. Well, I'm starting to get to that point where I've got a decent setup down here now, so if I get myself a camera for down here, I might try and do a live feed or two. I tried it in the past. It just wasn't working the way I wanted it to. So, c'est la vie. Anywho, so like I said, you know, we've got that coming up. It was a good Christmas. I understand some folks had good Christmases as well. Didn't really pick up anything for the railroad yet, which is fine, because I'm hoping the reason why I say I'm hoping is because for the last 3 years I've teased you all saying I'm going to tear this thing apart and start over, and every year something has come up to where I don't tear it apart and start over. Well, considering the fact that the wife has gone ahead and had a lot of the stuff done that I was going to have my hands in at some point, we went ahead and replaced the shed out back and did a couple other things. Well, you know, outside of the normal chores of cutting the grass and edging and things of that nature, hopefully this summer, outside of the fact that we got a couple trips planned, but hopefully this year, sometime after January 31st, the old Boeville Newtown may come apart. We'll see. We'll see. Like I said, I've teased you all with this for the last 3 to 4 years. Every year I say I'm going to mess with it. Every year something comes up and I don't do it. So, hey, guess what? I'm teasing you all again. I have no idea. We play this game called life, and whatever it throws at us, we just keep on trucking, right? Absolutely. Anyway, the last time you all saw me, I was messing around with doing the Athearn tune-up kit, as I call it. I know Hot Rod Rodney had mentioned something about the fact that he was wanting to do something similar to this and wanted to make sure it was going to be okay with me, that if he did, it wasn't going to be like plagiarism or something like that. And I'm like, dude, we're all model railroaders, man. You want to do something like it? That's fine. That's perfect. That's cool. I've got no problem with it, because you know what? I even mentioned it today on, I think it was the Budget Model Railroaders. Somebody asked a question, and you all know me. Somebody asked a question about, hey, are model power locomotives any good? And of course, it's just like anything else. You ask 50 people, they'll give you 50 different answers. But that's what makes this hobby so cool, is the fact that if you're just starting out, or if you've got younger kids, like I said, not that I do right now, but I've got younger nieces and nephews, I don't see the point of going out and spending $400 or $500 or $300-$400 on a locomotive that somebody's going to pick up and go, and then you're going, you know, go out and buy a $5 locomotive, it drops on the floor and busts in a million pieces. You pick up the pieces, throw them away, go out and get another one. And the fact of the matter is, too, if, like I've said in the past, you take care of the stuff, it'll take care of you. You know, I've got some stuff sitting over here on the shelf that's 50 years old. And I can take it over here off this shelf, put it over there, and it'll run just fine. Because it's been taken care of. So, you know what? It doesn't matter. It's up to you, but my 2 cents. Anyway. Off on the tangent track again. Anyway. So, I was working on the Athearn tune-up kit, and I cut the wires too short. You'd think, being an engineer, come on, Ray, think about this. You don't need to put that piece of wire that long. You need a decent piece of wire. Yeah, okay. Live and learn, right? It's easy to cut it long and cut it a couple different times to get it the length. You know, what was that old saying? Measure twice, cut once? Yeah. Well. So anyway, after the botched thing last time on the last vlog, I went back tonight and I actually corrected my mistake. The thing of it is I'm I know, I'm a cheapskate. I'll say it. I'm a cheapskate. And Most people would have been like, you know what, desolder it, throw it in the trash, and start over. Not me. No. I went ahead and extended the wiring. These neat little red pieces are, 16 gauge butt splices. So I could go ahead and add on to what was there. Yeah, okay, I could have gone ahead, desoldered the thing, thrown the stuff in the trash, and started over. You're right. But to a point, this proves a point. Hey, you can fix it. Anyway, so it's the same as it was before. The only thing of it is the lines are extended, and I did take this over and I did run it on the 15-inch radius. When you do this, if you do it the way I did it, if you don't do it the way I did it, actually I think I could have gotten away with probably 18 gauge, to be honest, and not the 16. The 16 seems to be a little stiff for this. It's a little, like I said, it's a little stiff. The Locomotive just doesn't quite have the weight for this. So for this 18 gauge probably would have been better. I wouldn't go any lower than 20, only because of the fact of the current draw. And that's really what you're worried about here, is the current draw. Voltage doesn't matter. It's the current draw that's coming up here to the motor. These things, I think the one power pack I've got, the old Trio Pacer, it's actually got the meters on there, and it tells you that it's putting out 12.5 volts, and if I've got 2 trains running, it's putting out almost, I think it's like 1.5 amps. So there's quite a bit of draw when you're running 2 locomotives. So there you go. You don't want to go any later than 18. So 16, maybe a little tight. 18 gauge would have been better, but give it a shot. Let me know. See what you think. I'm going to continue to use the 16 gauge because that's what I bought. I'm just going to fiddle with it. What I did is I took it over there and I fiddled with it until I got it to run back and forth across that 15, because it's the tightest radius I've got. I've got 15-inch radius that leads into the yard, which people would be like, you've got 15, yes, I've got 15-inch radius over there, which is the reason why you don't see any really long car, although I do have a couple of the grain hoppers, the longer grain hoppers over there, but you don't see anything over those in the yard because they won't make the corner. They'll jump, and that's the reason why. It's if there's a 15-inch radius in there. Well, why did you put 15-inch radius in there? Because I've got 18 and 22 beyond that. I needed to make the corner. 15's what I had. Well, you could have used flex. Yeah, I could have put flex track down there again. Let's not get into that. Anyway. I had the 15-inch radius. I used the 15-inch radius. Anyway, so what I did is I went ahead and tuned the wiring here to give the trucks enough room to be able to turn to where they weren't binding and jumping off. Because the wire, because it's stiff, it will bind a little bit. You could probably go in here and massage the wiring too before you actually put it on the motor and into the frame to give it some flexibility. You know what I mean? Just kind of bend it a little bit to get it to loosen up. That would probably help too. I don't know. Normally when it's wires like this, you're not going to be able to massage it too much. But, like I said, it was worth it. To me, this is what I wanted to try. I bought the wrong size wire, probably. Okay, no big deal. I cut it too short the first time. I extended it. Now everything works the way it's supposed to. And to tell you the truth, with the wire on here now, instead of this goofy thing, this thing, which was the GP9, well, it's going to be the GP9 BL2, this thing runs like a top. Not that it didn't before, but you can tell the difference between this and one that's still using this. So, it's a good thing. Just needs to be tweaked. And it'll probably get better as it goes along. Alright, let's see. What else is going on? I think that's it. No, boo-boo. I think I'm going to get me. Picnic basket. Sorry. Wrong show. Oh, I've gone off the rails again. One of these days I'm just going to start playing Ozzy Osbourne in the background or something. Going off the rails on the crazy train. Oh, anyway, don't do that, Ray. You'll scare everybody off if you haven't already. Man, it's going to be a long year, folks. Stay tuned. Next time, I'm actually going to go ahead and I'm not sure if I showed you all, but I did mess with the RDCs. I put my own kind of drawbar between the two of them. It probably could be a little bit tighter, but hey, for the moment, it'll work. So what I'm going to do is maybe the next time I'll show you how that works on the railroad. But we're almost 16 minutes in, and I got to stop blabbering. I need to get off of here. You all know the deal. Wait for the highball. Green tracks ahead. Be safe. God bless. Happy New Year again. We'll see you. Take care. See ya.